injuries affect people in all stages of life. Firearm-related injuries are among the 5 leading causes of death for people ages 1 through 64 in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. My name is Michael Nix. I am a lieutenant with the Texas Department of Public Safety Firearms Training Unit. This is not a statement for or against owning handguns. It is about gun safety. The goal of this video is to illustrate effective firearm safety. We will discuss the 4 most important firearm safety rules and how to properly unload a firearm. Before trying to learn to shoot on your own, please work with an experienced firearms training instructor. Every gun owner should remember safety is always the #1 priority, and you are responsible for every bullet fired from your gun.
Here are the 4 primary safety rules for handling any firearm. Understand that by violating one or more of these safety rules, serious injury or death may occur. Number 1. Treat every firearm as if it is loaded. If you are unsure of the firearm's status, you must always assume the firearm is loaded. Don't take someone else's word that a firearm is not loaded. Number 2. Keep your gun pointed in a safe direction. Safe direction is defined as any direction where the bullet will not harm a person if the firearm is discharged. This includes not flagging yourself with the barrel. Never point the firearm at anything you do not wish to shoot or destroy. Number 3. Keep your finger off and away from the trigger until you are ready to fire. This is known as high safe index. The purpose of this is to ensure you don't unintentionally squeeze the trigger before you intend to fire. For example, if you were to trip, fall, or be startled. Number 4. Be certain of your target and what is in front of or beyond it. Know if you were to shoot at the designated target, the bullet could safely pass through the target and not damage or injure anything or anybody beyond the target. These safety rules do not have to be followed in a specific order.
Before handling any firearm, please read and understand all cautions, warnings, notices, proper handling procedures, and instructions outlined in your owner's manual. Discharges can occur when holstering, unholstering, storing, and/or cleaning if the firearm safety rules are not followed. When picking up a firearm, unload it before cleaning, performing maintenance, or if you are uncertain of the state of the firearm. Rule number 1. Treat every firearm as if it is loaded. Without unloading and checking the chamber or cylinder, you have to assume any gun is ready to fire. We will show you how to properly check and unload a handgun later in the video. Rule number 2. Keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Never point the firearm at anything you do not wish to shoot or destroy. Always point the firearm away from your body or where any rounds fired would not injure yourself or another person. As proper examples, you can point the gun at the ground. Always point the gun away from your legs, feet, or torso and keep your hands clear of the muzzle. Improper examples would be, never point a gun at your hand, at people, or at any place where people might be, like a car or a building. Rule number 3. Keep your finger off and away from the trigger unless you are ready to fire. Keep your index finger alongside the frame and outside the trigger guard. Don't touch the trigger until you are ready to shoot. Rule number 4. Be sure of your target and what is in front of it or beyond it. Properly identify what you are going to be shooting at. If you are drawing the firearm, be careful a hand or finger does not block the end of the muzzle. Other scenarios: a building, car frame or window, tree or shrubbery, anything in the environment around you. Loose clothing could be obstructing the muzzle as you holster. Are there people, animals, buildings, or vehicles behind your target that could be in the path of a bullet? Are there children in the room beyond? Always make sure the muzzle is not obstructed and the area beyond your target is clear. We will now show how to safely check and unload a pistol. Note that the ammo used in these demonstrations are dummy rounds, such as snap caps. We will now demonstrate how to unload the two main pistol types, semi-automatic and revolver. This is a semi-automatic pistol. Pick up the firearm. Keep your finger off and away from the trigger. Point the firearm in a safe direction at all times. Make sure the firearm's safety is engaged, if applicable. Depress the magazine release, which can be located on either side of the pistol, to remove the magazine. Once the magazine is fully removed, pull back the slide to expose the chamber in its open position. If a loaded magazine is still inserted, pulling the slide back and allowing the slide to go forward will cause another round to chamber from the magazine. Rack the slide to the rear several times to eject any rounds still in the chamber. Lock the slide to the rear if applicable. Verify physically and visually by checking high and checking low to ensure no ammunition remains in the barrel or is left in the firearm. This is now an unloaded semi-automatic pistol. There are two main types of revolver, the double action and the single action. First, we will show how to unload a double action revolver. Pick up the firearm. Keep your finger off and away from the trigger. Point the muzzle in a safe direction at all times. Push the cylinder release and swing out the cylinder. Tip the cylinder up to remove the cartridges. Additionally, push the extractor rod to make sure you have removed all cartridges from the cylinder. Verify physically and visually by rotating the cylinder and checking that all chambers are empty. This is now an unloaded double-action revolver. Now we will unload a single-action revolver. Pick up the firearm. Keep your finger off and away from the trigger. Point the muzzle in a safe direction at all times. Open the loading gate. Pull the hammer to half cocked first if applicable. Tip the cylinder up to remove the cartridges. Additionally, align the chamber with the loading gate and push the round out with the ejector rod. Rotate the cylinder and repeat for each chamber until the firearm is unloaded, usually 6 times. Verify physically and visually by rotating the empty cylinder and double-checking that each chamber is empty. This is now an unloaded single-action revolver.
Once again, the top 4 firearm safety rules are: treat every firearm as if it is loaded, keep the gun pointed in a safe direction, keep your finger off and away from the trigger until you are ready to shoot, be certain of your target and what is in front of or beyond it.
This video covered just the basics of firearm safety. Please also see our video on firearms handling for additional information. And remember, these videos are no replacement for working with an experienced firearms training instructor to build your knowledge and skills.
For more information on safe firearm handling and safe storage, please visit the Department of Public Safety websites listed on your screen below.